Okay, so look, I'm sitting here in my house, minding my own business. Right now is the Tour de Fleece. It's like the Tour de France, only for people who spin, right? So I'm sitting here, I'm just spinning, and I've got my little spinning wheel, got my little earbuds in, and I'm listening to true crime, as I am wont to do. Ciao. Okay, so there's this old episode of Hidden True Crime podcast. So it's like, oh, this is perfect. This is like 2 hours, 3 hours. Of course, I listened to it on 2.2x. So I was going to get through in like an hour, hour and a half tops. And that's plenty of time for me to spin. I'm almost through with the golden fleece that I'm spinning. And this is going to be perfect. This little chatty patty that was over on the Hidden True Crime podcast, her name was Anna, and she's a member of a Vallow, also preparing a people. Those are the people who was like getting all their stuff together so they could be saved when like the earthquakes come and whatever. And I was like, okay, this crazy lady sounds interesting, so this will be good. So apparently this woman is a devout LDS member, Latter-day Saints. That's like the Mormons, for those of you who don't know. So I'm like, okay, little LDS lady, some of the things she said sounded crazy, but I was like, okay, people can believe what they want to believe. It's none of my business. And then she dropped some little jewels that I had not been aware of. Okay, so we know that Chad and Lori thought that Charles was a zombie, so they got rid of him. And the kids were zombies, so they got rid of them. And then Tammy was a zombie, so they got rid of her. You know who they said was zombie? Chad's kids. I was like, and apparently this was known in the Avow community. Oh, they was online. Everybody was talking about it. Like, oh, yeah. Chad was saying that, with the probations and the this and the whatever, that his kids were also zombies. That as soon as Tammy started being suspicious of Chad and Lori spending all of their time together, and after Lori moved up to Rexburg, they was getting together in public and holding hands and walking around the track at BYU, and Melanie Gibb was with them. Apparently, Melanie Gibb helped to brainstorm ideas of how to get rid of JJ. Melanie! And the other thing, everybody in the Avow was saying like, oh yeah, Lori laid her hands on Melanie Gibb and anointed her as part of the 144,000. So she was part of the chosen ones. And so she was feeling all proud and happy. And then the cops started calling and she was like, oh, no. I'm going to be one of the masses that are not in a tent. P.S. Who want to be in a tent anyway? Listen, I said this before, when the zombies come and when everything is over, if it's going to require camping, please take me first. I'm not going out like that. I would rather be dead and living off this mortal coil on the other side of glory, wherever that happens to be, to not live in a tent. Because honestly, if I'm living in a tent, that's the same as living in hell. I would rather just be over in the leafy green suburbs of hell, not in the burning, flaming inner city. Because, I haven't done anything that bad. I'm not like a murderer or nothing. But I would like to be in the suburbs of hell, please, where the Wi-Fi is slow and you can't spin it all. They probably don't even have the Tour de Fleece. Anyway, Chad's kids, did y'all know that your daddy thought you was zombies? Was he plotting on you? Or did he just let that go once he got to marry Lori? Here's the thing, though. They got arrested so fast because if you will recall, they were still in Hawaii when they got arrested. So maybe they just didn't get around to offing Chad's kids. But you know what he did do? One of the things that Emma, the daughter, had said was that he had married this new lady and abandoned all his children and ran off and forgot about them. They were encouraging everybody to run off and abandon their kids because if you will recall, Melanice ran off and abandoned her kids. They were encouraging Melanie Gibb to do the same. Lord knows Lori abandoned hers and she abandoned them to the other side. But I was like, ooh, little gossipy lady, I'm going to need you to get your own podcast and tell me everything. But she has 65,000 children, so she's busy. So she probably don't have time for a podcast. But I was very pleased that she dropped in on the Hidden True Crime podcast. What was her name? Anna, something like that. Chad's kids. Are y'all still mad at your daddy? Are you still Team Chad? Are you putting money on his books? Are you paying for his lawyer? Oh, I need them to come forward and do a Gayle King interview. I'm going to need them to speak to somebody because I want to hear from y'all. Yes, your daddy is up for the death penalty. And since Lori has already been convicted, it's pretty much a foregone conclusion that he's going to be convicted too. Is he going to take a plea? Is Lori going to testify against him? That's unlikely because she seems still really into him. Now that she's filed an appeal talking about the jury was confused. Girl, the jury was not confused. The only thing the jury was confused about is how come they couldn't convict you faster? They're like, we had to sit here for 5 weeks and now we get to convict her. We couldn't convict her after 3 weeks or 4 weeks. We had to sit here the whole 5. Okay, that's the only thing they were confused about. Lori, ma'am, And you're not going to get to do like Murdoch and go to like a nice cushy federal prison where you can learn to play dominoes and yoga and pickleball and all of that. You go into hardcore prison over there, and it's not going to be no portals for you. You're not getting out of this. You just going to sit there with the goofy hair and no Botox. All your grays going to come out, child. We're going to see all your wrinkles. We're going to be talking about you and looking at you real hard. When you go up for all your other murder trials, we're just charting your progress. More like charting your downfall. Oh, I already have a picture of the first time you were arrested versus your most recent mugshot. Girl, and you are looking a mess. Not that I am looking that gorgeous, because it is late at night. I got my M&M shirt on. Not a stitch of makeup, just got out of the shower. My face is washing, everything. But you know what I'm not? In prison. You know what I can do tomorrow? Get up and go on out here in this free world, put on a little makeup, be cute, put a little color on my lips, and get on about my day. You know what you can't do? None of that. Okay. I'm going to go back to finish spinning this is the last of the gold. I'm so excited. I don't know what I'm going to crochet or knit. I really am not into crocheting or knitting. I'm mostly just into spinning. But, Chad's kids were zombies. Do they know? Scatter out, y'all. I want everybody, especially y'all in Utah, Rexburg, wherever, Idaho, see if you can find one of Chad's kids. Fan out and report back. I'll talk to you later. Bye. How on earth did I forget to mention the most important part? The most important part of the thing that I learned from the nosy lady over there of the gossipy lady over in Hidden True Crime Podcast. The Mormons have a handbook. She kept saying, that's not in the handbook, and we can't do this and we can't do that because it's not in the handbook. Mormons, I'm going to need a copy of your handbook. What is in the handbook? And other religions, do all y'all have handbooks? Catholics, Buddhists, Baptists? I mean, you got the Bible or whatever, but I got the sense that there was an additional handbook, like supplemental information. I love a handbook. Oh, I love a handbook. You know why I like a handbook? Because I want to go through page by page and highlight everything that is interesting to me so I can find all the loopholes and do all the things that they didn't say specifically that I shouldn't do. That's kind of how I roll. Oh, I love it. My employee handbook at work, when it was paper, I had highlighted a whole bunch of sections. Now it's online and you can't highlight your computer because you look crazy. But Mormon friends, what's your handbook called? Can I get one on Amazon? Can non-Mormons get one? I just want to read all the rules. I am fascinated. So I'm going to now go over to Amazon.com and see if I can't find myself a nice LDS handbook, because I need to know all the rules. And Baptists, if y'all got a handbook, Episcopalians, everybody, those speaking in tongue peoples, is there translations of you speaking in tongue? I have so many questions. Listen, it's easy being a heathen because you don't have to remember nothing. But if y'all got a handbook and things to know, I want to know what all the rules are and are there tests. Okay, now I'm going to let you go to bed. Good night. How do I turn this off?